Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Self-Achievement Network. I am here with Sherif Youssef,
Hello.
our marketing guru, and today we are going to be talking about influencer marketing. If you don't know already, Sherif is the admin for the subgroup called the SAN Marketing Group, and he's going to be giving us a little rundown today on what it means to be involved with and how to get hooked up with and all kinds of great information on influencer marketing. Sharif, can you move your screen a little bit forward so that your head is a little bit higher up in the screen there? There you go.
Is it better?
Yeah, a little bit more. It should have been our plan before that. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you all for being here and watching. If you are interested in learning more about influencer marketing, stay with us.
Yeah.
So, Sharif, what's happening today?
So we've been doing marketing for the longest time, and we've been using different forms of endorsements, and these endorsements can come in the form of celebrities sometimes. But recently, with the rise of the digital age and social media marketing and these things, the influencer marketing part started getting known, and then started growing dramatically. So what do we mean by influencer marketing? It's basically a form of marketing in which the focus is placed on people of influence rather than the target customers. So we focus on the people of influence that could carry a product or could carry a brand to the target market. So we work with individuals who have influence over certain subset of potential customers. Basically, there we orient our activities, our marketing activities, towards these influencers. So that's in a very brief definition the influencer marketing part. It is basically building relationships with these people who we call the influencers, who can in turn build relationships with our target customers. Our target customers believe in these influencers, and they have a lot of confidence in their opinions. So that's why we as a company have to be very diligent in the type of and the influencers that we choose, and work with them to be able to market our product and market our brand properly to the target customer.
Interesting. So let me just ask you real quick. So where are we seeing examples of influencer marketing?
Oh, you can see it everywhere. You can use bloggers. You can use YouTubers. You can use even sports characters. Sometimes celebrities as well. You can use them, but mostly the bloggers and the YouTubers and people that are on social media, they've built a reputation. They built their client base based on them being out there in this subsegment of a certain market, and then they've become very trustworthy, and people like to see and like to hear what they say. So, for example, you're looking at a certain restaurant, and you know that a certain blogger writes a lot, and he goes out, and he or she go out, and they try different restaurants and try different types of food and so on. You will typically go out and or try to find these bloggers and see what they say about a certain restaurant that you want to test. So the food or restaurants would be one industry, and among other things, obviously.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of the commercials on TV that are the obvious ones, don't you think? Like I don't know if you get the same commercials there in Toronto area that I get here in Chicago area, but there's one for Lincoln, the car brand Lincoln.
Okay.
And one of the celebrities is Serena Williams.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that.
So you see that, yeah. So she's sitting in the car, and then there's this nice music playing, but she doesn't say anything. But it's just the influence
Of
that
course.
she has, the followers. I mean, this is something that isn't new, of course.
Yeah, but it is a form of influence, and I recall also Roger Federer
Yeah,
with Rolex. No,
absolutely.
you do associate your some of your celebrities or your influencers and try to get the best out of the best for your product or service or brand. Um, so whether they have like a small or large audience, these influencers, it can reach basically can reach customers through their blogs, through their social networks that your brand may not be able to reach like on a regular day.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
are we not? We're sort of tapping into and borrowing and exchanging their network, whether that's a social media presence or some other, I don't know, media
exactly.
presence. So we're tagging onto each other, so to speak.
Exactly. This is exactly how they call it, and if you wanna simplify it, you say that influencer marketing is marketing to influencers. So I want to make sure that my product or my brand is marketed to this influencer who will help me market it to his audience and his target.
Ah, yes.
You know?
It's what are some of the secrets to setting this up? Seems obvious that we have to find the right people.
Yeah.
We have to have relationships with them. I mean, there's probably several different things which should take.
Exactly. Exactly, as you said, like any marketing activity, it requires a lot of targeting and it requires a lot of planning. So do your research first. If we want to summarize or we want to look at like very specific points, I would say research. That's one thing. Do your budget, put your goals, and then like review and change if needed. So research who are the best influencers that can help in promoting my brand. Um, there will be a lot of them out there, and like I said, they can have a smaller audience, they can have a larger audience, but it really depends on how influential they are with their target audience. So that's one thing, and then you agree on you plan a certain budget, and then you agree on a certain compensation with that influencer, and then once that is done, we agree on goals and objectives to be achieved and the types of messages, and then we review as we go. We review, and if anything needs to change, we change it. So it's a typical marketing activity, though.
Sure.
Um, so if we wanna, what we want to do to consider before engaging, we want to, like I said, we want to plan carefully, budget, strategy, research, on the whole bit. We also need to be human. So we need to be people talking to people as opposed to companies talking to companies. It's very important. This is an element that I don't know. Sometimes you just overlook it in your marketing activities, and we just need when you're doing this type of marketing activity of using influencer marketers, you need to be human. You need to make the message reach the person, as opposed to reaching the customer like as an entity.
Uh-huh.
It has its effect. So even if this is a person inside the company that you want to reach, then also try to make it reach that person, not reach the whole company.
Hmm.
Um, Obviously, you're going to do some schedules, some timelines for the certain for the different messages that you're going to carry out. So why not integrate it with your PR schedule? Because probably you have a PR schedule or public relations schedule, and you have some press releases or media releases scheduled. So if you can integrate that with your media releases, with your media events as well, it would have a better or a more positive impact as well. So be like I said, so plan carefully, be human, integrate with your PR, and at the same time be patient. It is not
Mm.
one-time thing. You don't click a button and then all of a sudden you get the influence that you want. It's not going to happen that way. You need to give time, be very patient, and try and try. And if the messages are not if they're not the right messages, basically, or they're not rendering the right impact that you would hope for, then change it and choose new messages. So,
Mm-hmm. So if I was wanting to set this up on social media, for example, you know, so here in the Self Achievement Network, we've got currently around a little over 1,800 members, and let's say that we wanted to offer a marketing workshop to a larger audience. So how would I, go about in general? How would I go about setting that up, an influencer type of a marketing activity with an online person or group?
you would go out and look for one of the more prominent names on social media with regards to marketing. There are a few of them. I can't remember by name right now, but there are a few of them. You can find them on LinkedIn, on even if you Google search them, you will find some of them, and then you contact them. And well, before contacting them, you might as well try to get into their network. You want to get into
Yeah.
their network and start communicating, communicating effectively, not just liking and winking and this kind of stuff. No, you communicate. You put comments. You put some input so that you would be a part of that person's network, and then your input will be of value to him or her. And
Mm-hmm.
therefore, after that, when you reach out and ask for their help, basically, it's easier. It's an easier job, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a number of them out there. You can find them on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Twitter sometimes as well. Yeah. So that's the best thing to do is to research. Like I said, we research first, name a few, and then we start going into their network. Because this is once you get into their network, you have second hand reach to their network already. You want their first hand reach because yes, once they say something, their network will definitely look for it. But like right there and there, if you get into their network, then you have already a second hand reach to the target audience.
Yeah. So now, I mean, the ideal scenario would be to set up a deal where whoever is in charge of that particular social media group or whatever you want to call it, network, that they're promoting us, right?
Exactly.
They're saying, I'm here with, okay, so let's just use the example, the Self Achievement Network in our marketing group. And we're going to take a look at some of the activities that they do to increase, their marketing activities. And they have a deal for you today, blah, 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 blah. So,
Exactly. You're
okay.
you're the influencer here. So you're the influencer. I reached out to you. You're the influencer in the marketing field, and you have your audience. You have your good network there. And my deal with you is I would like to promote that marketing group, and to your audience, basically. Well, at first hand to your audience, and you say, okay, so we'll do the deal, and I will try to promote. What do you offer? I offer, okay, so let's say I offer certain courses, modules of courses, and they say, okay, you will go, in this case, you will go about your business and say, go to your group and say, this group has a lot of valuable material, try this out or check it out. And then they can post some links, maybe some sneak peeks of some of the material that we post and so on. But
And
like I
it
said,
doesn't even have to be a course. I mean, it could be a service, right? A straight up like, okay, this is, let's just use you as an example. Here's Sherif, and he's here today to talk about what he does. And he's
yeah,
got a 50% off his normal service, blah 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 blah. And I mean that is in essence what we're attempting to do, is to, provide something for that person's network and then give them a great deal.
Yeah.
Now, would I also do something like, I mean, this is online. I keep talking online, but we can talk about brick and mortar in a minute. But the offer would also be something to that particular influencer for like an affiliate type of a fee, or not a fee, but a stipend that they would get if let's say that you end up selling 10 services, not 10 services, but 10 people your services at a discounted rate of 50%.
Right.
That influencer, if it was a set up as an affiliate thing, that influencer then would also get a little bit of kickback, right?
That would be part of the compensation deal that you agree upon at the beginning. Remember, we said we want to research and then put a budget in place and agree on a compensation. Yes, this would be part of the compensation.
Okay, so there's all kinds of ideas that could happen.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Okay.
And some of them are bigger than being just individual influencers. Some of them are a little bigger than that, and I mean, here in Toronto, there's one called Blog TO. Um, so they're huge and they charge a lot of money. But they have influencers in all industries basically.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah. So this is just one that I remember right now. But they could be like a person, an individual, or they can be a group of influencers under one umbrella. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
it is growing. Okay, so we spoke about what we need to consider. Like we said, plan, be human, integrate with your PR, and then definitely be patient. But what do we not consider as influencer marketing? So that's the other side of that. Yeah. So it is not influencer marketing is not about just finding someone that has some audience and giving them some money so that they can give you exposure. It's and talk good things about you. It's these people have spent time and effort and building their brand and reputation. So you want to have a relationship, and this takes me back to what I was telling you. Tap into their network and get to know the person, even if there's no direct conversation between the two of you. Still, get into their network, try to know the person first, and see if you can give them something to talk about, basically. And because, like I said, these people spend a lot of time and effort and money building their networks, and you will definitely benefit from using them. So what it is not, it's not just about finding a person that can talk nice about your product and take some money from you. It is about a relationship that you
Yeah,
develop with that person.
obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, like I said, we said be patient. So it's not about quick payouts. It's not like a click of a button. It is a campaign, and like any campaign, like any marketing campaign, it will take its time. Maybe not comparable to other marketing campaigns, but yes, it is a campaign, and it doesn't necessarily have to be selling a product. It can be building your brand or endorsing your brand. So it helps you in this sense. It helps you demonstrate that your brand is the best. You have the authority. You have the credibility, and you're the best in the industry. So something like this definitely will take time. So be patient, and don't expect it to render results really quick.
Mm-hmm.
One example that came to mind when I was preparing this is Xerox. Remember Xerox back in the day? Um, People used to say, "I'm gonna go Xerox that piece of paper, not copy it."
Right.
So that's influence right there. It's the brand that they built, and they kept on building it so that people just didn't use the word photocopy or
Yeah,
print or whatever. So, but it takes a lot of time to build that brand. So
it's like somebody says, Google it.
exactly.
Yeah.
These days it's Google it. Yeah.
Somebody the other day, as we were talking, she's like, "Yeah, Google owns the internet."
I think it owns a big piece of our lives.
That's amazing. That
Yeah.
I mean, in really a few short years. I mean, it's probably been 15 now, but in a few short years, they just basically have taken over the planet.
Yeah, it has. It has. And it comes in
Talk
all
about
sorts of forms now. So you can type and you can talk to a microphone and
right, right. I just have another little quick question, and maybe we can come up with a little example. So, there's a lot of we talk about brick and mortars. There's a lot of small business out there. For example, I have a good friend that has a print shop,
Mhm.
and he's probably got 15 employees. It's got a storefront, the building. In the back they print everything. You name it, they print it. And so, how could someone like that utilize influencer marketing
Sure,
in
sure.
their plan? Just, I mean,
It like any other industry, I would say there is a person out there that knows about printing, and he's tried quick copy, he's tried copy express, and he's tried your friend's store, and he's tried a lot of them. And definitely, I mean, if this person reaches out or searches for that influencer, then he will be able to get him and strike a deal with it. It is, like I said, maybe there are not so many influencers in the print shop industry as much as there are in the restaurant industry, for example. But there are definitely some people out there. Once you reach out and you find that person or persons, and then you choose, depending on their network and how trustworthy they are, you will be able to use them as an influencer marketing person. Again,
yeah.
yeah,
So it just doesn't have to be on social media. It's maybe utilizing social media and the network that they've created, online. It
for
also
sure.
applies to small shops, restaurants, you name it, car dealerships. I mean, it's endless. Um,
Exactly, exactly.
repair shops. I mean, it just depends on how much time they want to invest and
Yeah, yeah,
and utilize it. So okay, cool, very
yeah.
good.
Um, a couple of other things that I just want to touch upon here. What doesn't work in influencer marketing when you generalize your approach. So if you basically the one size doesn't fit all. So you have to tailor the approach according to the influencer, tailor the message according to the influencer, um, because also at the same time, popularity does not mean influence. Yes, a person
Hmm.
is popular, but he may not have the right influence, or she may not have the right influence. So, excuse me. Um, we spoke that influencer marketing is basically marketing to influencers. So the thing is that instead of just try to grab the likes and the follows and the winks and these things from your social media, if you give out the right content through that influencer marketer, tells us that our time is better spent doing marketing directly to influential people. You want to find these people as opposed to just going out on your social media and just clicking like and clap and that kind of stuff. Find
Yeah.
your right person, and this right person will be able to help you promote your brand and promote your product. So
Hmm.
um, so basically, if I want to conclude or summarize what we spoke about, it is influencer marketing is like a hybrid or like a mix of old and new marketing tools. You still use the plan and research and budget and review, And at the same time, you have to be diligent in choosing your influencer, and and as well as and putting down the right content as well, and the right plan for the campaign. Um, the celebrity endorsement is definitely out there. Like we said, we spoke about Serena Williams, spoke about Roger Federer, Cristiano Ronaldo, and what have you. Um, the main difference between them and um, or the celebrity endorsement and the influencer marketing is that the campaign in an influencer marketing um, is usually long term, and it's a collaboration between the brand and the influencer.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we said that there are certain considerations that we need to take care of, like the influencers and setting up the campaign and the budget and so on. But we still want to find the right one that can help you carry your brand.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
So,
Well, that's a lot of information, and then, putting it into practice is another challenge. At the same
yeah,
time, you can help with that, right?
yes, I can definitely help with that. Help with trying to find the right influencer for your campaign, for your brand.
All right. Okay. Well, until next week.
Yes.
Thank you all for watching. Thank you so much, Sherif, for sharing your knowledge with us. And we will be posting this. And then any comments or questions,
Yes.
obviously, please share. And that's it. So from all of us here in the Self-Achievement Network, and
Always a pleasure.
this guy
Thank
right
you.
here, oops, wrong way. Oops, this way. I never got it right. But anyway, Sherif, thank you. We'll talk to you
Thank you. Always
again.
a pleasure.
Okay.
Take care. Bye.
Bye now.